The ridge. Sheriff Dale Kessler crouched at the edge of the clearing, studying the broken branches. Someone had come through here fast. And recently, the sap on the snapped twigs hadn't dried yet. Tracks lead north, his deputy called from 20 yards ahead. 2 sets. One's dragging. Dale followed the trail deeper into the pines. 3 days ago, a hiker named Roy Ferris had vanished near Cutter's Ridge, and the only lead was a torn jacket sleeve, found snagged on barbed wire at the old logging boundary. The forest thickened, blocking out the afternoon light. Dale's radio crackled with static, useless out here. He kept moving, boots sinking into wet leaves, until he spotted it, a hunting cabin. Half collapsed, chimney still faintly smoking. He signaled his deputy to circle wide. Through a cracked window he saw a man pacing, agitated, muttering to himself. On the floor lay a shape wrapped in a tarp. Dale's hand moved to his holster. He'd known Walt Prentice for 15 years. Quiet, kept to himself. Ran a trapping line up this way. Never figured him for this. "Walt," Dale called, stepping into the open. "Come on out. Let's talk." The pacing stopped. A long silence, then the door creaked open. Walt stood there, hands shaking, eyes red. "He was on my land," Walt said. "Kept coming back, cutting my lines, stealing pelts. I told him to stop." "Is he alive in there?" Walt nodded, slow. "Tied him up. Wasn't gonna, I just wanted him gone." His voice cracked. "I didn't know what else to do." Dale kept his tone even. "You're going to walk me through exactly what happened, and we're going to get him out of there. Together. Nobody else gets hurt today." Walt's shoulders sagged, the fight draining out of him all at once. He stepped aside. Inside, Roy Ferris was bruised but breathing, wrists raw from the rope. Dale cut him free while his deputy cuffed Walt without resistance. By the time they hiked back down to the trailhead, the sun was dropping behind the ridge, turning the pines gold. Dale radioed it in, recovered alive, suspect in custody, and for a moment just stood there, listening to the wind move through the trees. Between a man defending what was his and a man who'd crossed into something he couldn't take back. 6 weeks later, Dale sat in the back row of the county courthouse, watching Walt Prentice take a plea deal. Aggravated kidnapping, reduced from attempted murder. 8 years, parole possible in 5. Walt didn't look up when they read the terms. He just stared at his own hands, the same way he had in that cabin doorway. Dale figured that was the end of it. It wasn't. 3 months later, a call came in from the ranger, stationed near Cutter's Ridge. Someone had been tearing through the trapping lines again. Snares cut. Cash boxes from 2 hunting cabins pried open. Small stuff, but it had the same signature. Someone who knew the land. Dale drove out himself. The forest looked different in late autumn, stripped down, sound carrying further between the bare trunks. He found the first cabin exactly as reported. Lock-forced. A crude search. Nothing valuable enough to explain the trouble taken. Then he noticed the boot prints. Same tread pattern he remembered from the logging boundary, months back. Smaller feet than Walt's, though. Someone else. At the second cabin, Dale found a name scratched into the doorframe with a knife. Ferris. He sat with that for a long moment. Roy Ferris and the hiker Walt had tied up. The man Dale had personally cut free and driven to the hospital. Dale had assumed Roy went home to Ohio and put the whole thing behind him. He hadn't checked. A records call that afternoon told him otherwise. Roy had never left the county. He'd sold his truck, taken a room above the feed store in town, and told the owner he had unfinished business up on the ridge. Dale found him that evening, not at the cabins, but at Walt's old trapping shed, going through crates with a flashlight clenched in his teeth. Roy startled but didn't run. "He's in prison," Dale said. "Whatever you're looking for, it's not going to undo what happened to you." Roy's jaw tightened. "You don't know what he took from me out here. Wasn't just 3 days tied to a floor." He gestured at the shed, at the whole dark tree line beyond it. "I want to know why."